I was walking back from the gym. Now, let's be real. I definitely haven't been going to the gym. I was walking back from somewhere. Maybe I was walking back from like a coffee shop or something. And when I saw the message, I had to like drop down. I don't even know how to describe it, but like I dropped down like I was about to get my eagle on. Drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Hell no, you leaving me alone, girl. Drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Like I dropped down to my knees and not kneeling, but just I got like in a really low squat position. I just kind of like hugged my knees and I was like, yo, it's happening. Mi gente, what's good? Welcome to another episode of the Quién, Eres podcast brought to you by Plurawl. It's been a few weeks, two, three, but you already know. It's your boy Pabel bringing you another very special episode of this show. First off, apologies for being off for the last two, 3 weeks. It's been a wild ride, and I want to give y'all updates because everyone is asking me, how does it feel? How does it feel to finally have an app in the App Store? How does it feel now that it's live, now that people are using it, now that people are paying for it, now that some investors are starting to reach out? How does it all feel? And it's been, well, first, let me get into, you're like, oh my God, what a tease. First, let me get into before. The few weeks before the app was officially live into the App Store, then I'm going to get into the second part of this episode, which is the day of, and then the weeks after and how it's been since then. So let's take it back to a few weeks before the app goes live. So as you know, we've been building this, we've been doing user research. We've been asking people what apps do they use, what apps do they wish they had, what problems can we solve for. We've been thinking about all those things. We took that feedback, we built a prototype. We took the prototype, we did more user testing to get an understanding of, does this solve your problem? How much would you pay for it, etc. We took that, then we're like, all right, let's build this out. We built it out, and then we finally get to the point where we submit to the App Store, and what happens? Apple rejects it. Let me tell you, Apple rejected the app from being accepted into the App Store probably like 4 or 5 times. But it's not like Apple sends you one long email as far as saying like, yo, you're not approved for the App Store, and this is a long list of reasons why. Give us feedback on all of those reasons, and then we'll let you in. Maybe, right? No, they send you individual emails, right? So they'll be like, hey, fix this. This seems a little off. Oh, cool. Hey, fixed it. Are we good now? Nope. Psych. Here's another one. And it's just like weeks of back and forth and back and forth. And it's funny because oftentimes you don't always talk to the same representative from Apple. Like you may get Sean one day and Tim another day, and then Jack another day, and then Jose another day. And they're all looking at like different things from different perspectives. It's also funny too, because Apple doesn't typically give you very direct answers. If you dig into it, you ask and you like, not harass, but be like, yo, but like, can you give me more details on like why this got rejected? They'll give you something vague. Like, I don't know. They'll be like, oh, this goes against user policy. Okay, what specifically about user policy? Because I could fix it if you tell me what it is. You feel me? So it was legit back and forth for weeks. And some of the things, because you're probably wondering, like, all right, what did the app get rejected for? Some of the things made sense. They were like, one of the things we got rejected for was, hey, I realized that you're asking users that are signing up for their date of birth. Why are you asking for their date of birth? And are you giving them a differentiated experience based on their date of birth, right? So we gave them feedback. We're like, oh yeah, based on their date of birth, maybe they're millennials versus Gen Z versus this. We want to tailor the experience, blah, 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 right? They were like, nah, not cool. He was like, you know what? Cool. Strip the date of birth. We don't need it. So again, it was just a back and forth. But towards the end, I started to feel like they were questioning the whole purpose of the app. They were essentially questioning like, why do you even need users to create an account in the first place? So it was a lot around like user privacy, safety, and all those kind of things, which I respect. Um, but towards the end, I did get a little doubtful. I was like, yo, is this even gonna be accepted? Because I have heard stories. I mean, the developer team that I work with, they were telling me a story how like they were submitting a dating app that they were working on for one of their clients, and they didn't even give them a back and forth. They were like, "Yo, we got too many dating apps. I can't approve this." They were like, "What? Too many dating apps?" So like those stories actually happen. Sometimes it's not a back and forth. Sometimes they literally don't get approved, right? And it really made me question it made me question so many things around mostly, am I building something of value? Am I built, because essentially like by putting it in the app store, they're saying that they believe that what you're creating has values for the users, hence the people that are going into the app store and downloading it, people that have iPhones and downloading it, etc., right? It's like, am I contributing to like a greater good here? Am I providing value? Am I providing enough value? And eventually it's like, yo, maybe this isn't even gonna get accepted, right? And I say this all the time on the podcast, but the problem with that is that I was having a lot of those conversations with myself. That's the problem, right? Because even as much as I use the app as well, and I realize these problematic thinking patterns that I'm doing, right? Like automatically going to worst case scenario. I'm making up a story and assuming the worst around what's going to happen. I'm essentially doing like fortune telling, right? Like I don't know what the hell is going to happen in the future. All I could do is put my best foot forward, work with the team, make sure that I give them all the information they need, right? And just like see what happens and pivot from there, right? The other thing oftentimes is like, yo, when we don't talk to others about what's happening, we feel alone. When we feel alone, we feel like we're the problem. And I put up one story on Instagram. I went on Instagram. I published an Instagram story. Whatever. I posted an Instagram story, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't know this it was this difficult to get an app approved in Apple." And let me tell you, so many, so many people hit up the apps, hit up the DMs and was like, "Yo, bro, it's not you. It's Apple. They are notorious." That's what somebody said. They used the word notorious. They were like, Apple is notoriously difficult to get into. They are notoriously picky and they will decline your shit for no reason. And I was like the more DMs that I got, the more that I was like, oh, all right, well, I guess it's not that bad. I guess this is just like part of the process. And if and when the app does get approved, it'll just make it that much sweeter. It'll make it that much more fulfilling to be like, yo, we did that. With the idea of like, yo, I don't even want to celebrate like getting in the app store. I want to celebrate later when I get these milestones, right? But the more I went through it, I'm like, no, we gotta celebrate this. Yo, it is not easy. What's funny? Only one person responded with like, nah, that's just easy work. A lot of people don't get accepted because they don't really know what they're doing. That was one person. Everybody else was like, nah, that shit is annoying as fuck. Everybody, yo. So it was the day after Father's Day when not even the app development team, they were probably sleeping, but my friend sent me a screenshot of the app store where the Plural app, where the Plural app was live and accessible for people to download in the app store. And I was walking back from the gym. No, let's be real. I definitely haven't been going to the gym. I was walking back from somewhere. Maybe I was walking back from like a coffee shop or something. And when I saw the message, I had to like drop down. I don't even know how to describe it, but like I dropped down like I was about to get my eagle on. Drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Hell no, you leaving me alone, girl. Drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Like I dropped down to my knees, not kneeling, but just I got like in a really low squat position. I just kind of like hugged my knees and I was like, yo, it's happening. It's finally happening. And what I say is finally happening is it's one, like, yes, people will finally be able to access what we've been building, what we've been working on, but also it finally lifts the burden off of all of the self-doubt that I was thinking, all of the fortune telling that I was doing around these worst case scenarios. And lastly, it opened up the door to so many opportunities that I couldn't participate in previously. Like there's so many funding opportunities that I couldn't apply for because they wanted to see a product in market, for example. And when I say funding, like investment opportunities, grant opportunities, all a lot of different things, right? Um, People can now test it. There's just like literally so many opportunities. And I think something that is worth noting, I think something that is worth highlighting or at least exploring a bit is the fact that it landed. Till this day, I still have to ask the app dev team when it was officially approved. Like, what time was it approved? Like, was it on Father's Day or was it the day after Father's Day? Either way, I think that is a symbolic date to be approved because I consider myself an ambitious person. I think a lot of people would describe me as ambitious. And it's funny that whenever I used to talk to my therapist about ambition, she would bring this up randomly, but she essentially made the connection between maybe I'm ambitious because I'm trying to get the attention of my father. She said, my ambition is a way of me saying, hey, dad, you see me? Am I good enough now to be selected? Am I good enough now to stay with? Choose me. Hey, you see all these accomplishments? That's essentially what she said. And I don't know how much validity I want to add to that. I don't know how much I want to think. I mean, it's difficult. I'll think about that in another one. I'm gonna think about that in another episode. But it's a theory. I'll call it that. It's a theory that my therapist did say. So I do believe in everything happens for a reason. So it's interesting that it could have been approved weeks ago. And for some reason, whatever it is, maybe it is providing some validity to that theory. Maybe it was there on that specific day for me to think more about the relationship with my father. I don't know. There's a lot of things. And you know what? Speaking of my father, I was actually doing an Instagram live the other day and my sister popped in to the Instagram live. I know some of y'all are probably like, "You got a sister?" Yeah, I got a sister. And I haven't spoken to her in years. In fact, I don't even remember if I've even met her. I probably met her once in person, but like I really don't remember. And maybe I've just erased those memories intentionally. I have no idea, but she popped in and come to find out she lives in Jersey now. She used to live in Massachusetts. I don't know, there's been a lot of just like father related things that have happened in my life recently and I'm like, hmm, is that a sign? I don't know. Anyway, I think that's symbolic. And so yeah, we the app went live and let's talk about the days or weeks of what happened after that. So the app went live. I First thing I did, well, besides like texting my family and a few friends, the first line of communication that I had to the world about like, yo, this is live. I went to LinkedIn. I don't know why I went to LinkedIn, but I did go to LinkedIn. I think it's because maybe all of the other apps were blocked on my phone, so I couldn't access the other apps. So I just probably went on my computer and like went on LinkedIn and I was like essentially like, hey, the app is live, go download it, right? And people started people started hitting me up like, yo, I can't sign into an account, like it's not working. I was like, fuck, this would happen as soon as we go live. Like, so I, and you know what? That's not even the last time that there was a bug that wasn't allowing people to sign in or sign up for an app. I mean, sign up for an account. And throughout, I think the biggest thing throughout these last couple of weeks that I've had to embrace has been, yo, done is better than perfect. Like you did all the testing, it was working before you launch, now you launch, and there are some minor things. You can fix it, People are patient, people are forgiving, people will figure it out, they'll figure it out, people will start using it, right? I had to do a lot of that. And then something else has been happening is like people have been asking me, yo, how does it feel? How does it feel to have an app that's live in the App Store? Not only that, but that people are using it. And I would say besides that moment that I had when I was walking back home, definitely not from the gym, probably from the coffee shop, when I had to drop down and get my eagle on and hug my knees and just feel this sense of relief and accomplishment, I think I've been mostly filled with anxiety and feeling like I'm not doing enough, feeling like I haven't really accomplished anything. Like that moment of feeling accomplished was so short-lived. So short-lived. And I haven't had time. This is why I do these episodes. This is why I do these live journal episodes so that I can process my thoughts. Also, hashtag process with plural. That's something that we definitely gonna start implementing. Shout out to Odalis for the um for the hashtag. She said it one time and I was like, "Ooh, that's good, girl. That's good." So yeah, I haven't had time to process, but if I'm if I'm reflecting now and I'm being honest with myself and you, I think that I'm feeling so anxious and pressured is mostly due to financial reasons. I think I have a well, not that I think, but I don't have a technical co-founder. If I had a technical co-founder, the idea would be that we would both be working on this, not paid each, both not paid until we start getting fundraising or we make a substantial amount of revenue where we can pay both of ourselves, but more so continuing to do it from our savings and I don't know, just with the idea that our belief in this is going to be a big thing, right? And maybe we both do still have full-time jobs, or maybe we're both working part-time. The point is, we're just both figuring this shit out, right? That's not the case. And right now, I have to pay the app dev team that I'm working with, who I've had a pleasure to work with. Listen, when you hire a team on a contract, they're not working with you forever unless you can continue paying them, right? Like this is a fixed contract with a fixed date. So we agreed to have, I think, 2 months of support post post work that is complete. And after that, I don't have a technical resource on staff or on contract, on payroll, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I don't know how I'm going to pay for them moving forward. And that is scary. I also don't, my savings account has lasted me for a while. My savings account plus the money that I've been making doing speaking engagements and workshops and all those kind of things have been lasting me a while. I recently cashed out the majority of my 401k. Do I go back and cash out the rest so that it can hold me down for more time? Maybe another year, maybe, another couple months. I forget how much I have in there, but how deep do I go into my savings to buy myself time? Because I believe that it is about time. We just launched the app. People are already using it and loving it. I'm gonna read you some of the feedback that some people have been sharing with me, but it's not does it work? It does work. It's a matter of I need to buy time to raise enough awareness for people to know that the product exists so that they can fall in love with it, so that we can generate revenue, so that we can sign contracts with enough companies so that their employees can have it as their benefits so that we can generate more revenue, so that I can finally pay myself, so that I can finally build a team, pay engineers, all, you know what I mean? All of these sort of things, you know what I mean? It's not about will it work? It's not about does it provide people with value? It's about how long, with the money that I have, how long do I have to raise enough awareness to get these things done? You know what I mean? That's what it's about. And some of the things, honestly, that have been keeping me motivated and keeping me going and has been the validation that I've been receiving from people that have been using the app. Let me just read you a few messages from people. This is really what's keeping me motivated. Somebody sent me a message and said, Pabel or Pabel, I just had my first journal entry and I'm emotional as hell, like tears for real. I had the same feeling I have after a therapy session, a sense of relief, of more self-awareness unlocked, a calm, knowing I can move forward with a new understanding and new tools. What a game changer. Thank you for dreaming big, making it happen, and sharing it with our communities. Here's another one. You're really going to change the world with this one, Pabel. Just had my first journal entry and I won't be able to speak highly enough of this app, and I can already tell. Thank you for bringing this to the masses. I think every company should offer this as a part of their insurance plan to employees. Felicidades, hermano. And let me share a funny one, actually. Yo, this is funny. Hold on. Shit. I gotta look for it. Hold on. Oh, this is low-key perfect timing because my therapist needs to cut down on our time to once a month, and I don't know if that's working for me. So this person is essentially gonna use this in the meantime, in the times that they aren't seeing their therapist. Um, yo, hold on. Shit, I can't find it. Shit, I can't find it. All right, essentially, um, I essentially was like, yo, I was actually thinking about texting my ex. And then I went, instead of texting my ex, I went to Plurawl and it convinced me not to. Like this app isn't letting me be toxic. Some shit like that. I was crying laughing. Um, but yeah, there are a lot of like DMs and messages that I've been getting like that. And that shit is motivating. That shit makes me feel so purposeful. And it's just a reminder that if I haven't already, no, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like I was literally about to just downplay my accomplishments. I was about to say, if I haven't already built something that is powerful and valuable, I'm on my way to. No, fuck that. I've already built something. We have already built something that is valuable to people. And it's just about scaling it.